We have obligations towards Iran. Tell me, dear SPD, are you out of your minds up there? We negotiate with terrorists. Well, only if they haven't beheaded anyone for 3 or 4 weeks. Here in Germany, we are now glorifying terrorists at parades, just like what happened a few days ago. And now we learn that we have obligations towards Iran. We urgently need to help. No, sorry, you urgently need to do something about fuel prices, which have gone up again today instead of falling like the oil prices. And this government, well, they've come up with exactly one thing: to do nothing at all anymore. Because it was an attack in violation of international law, what the USA launched there, and Israel doesn't want to stop. That means we now have to pay with our tax money, even though we don't even know if we'll be able to go to work in the future. That's because the SPD wants it that way. And for now, the reforms don't matter anymore. We have to rebuild Syria. You still get reforms, but they only affect you and not this government. And last but not least, to make it absolutely clear, please go refuel more often so that the state earns even more from your receipts, so that you'll also be able to support Iran. Because it was an attack in violation of international law. And if you're not getting upset right now, then please show me your ballot. And if you are getting upset, please write down below what you voted for in the last election. I would just be really interested to know, because the way things are going here, it can't go on like this anymore. And I just keep wondering, when will the day come when we march to Berlin with torches and pitchforks to put an end to this bunch? Of course, I don't mean to glorify violence. I just wanted to put it out there as a metaphor. By the way, if you're interested in true and honest information, feel free to leave a like and subscribe so that we can get this channel back on track and reach even more people by the next elections, who finally stop funding these failures, cheaters, liars, and supporters of terrorists. So, long intro today, little context, but I have a lot on my mind, a lot lined up today, where I really have to say, that's enough now.
Oil prices have dropped significantly in Iran. However, experts warn that this won't automatically affect fuel prices in Germany.
No, they even went up today, even though the oil price is falling because it hasn't reached here yet. But watch out. And the SPD really pulled out all the stops today, I have to say. So even the fact that now, as I said, they're negotiating with terrorists and letting themselves be photographed with them, who, just 2 or 3 months ago, was still regularly seen holding two heads in his hands, but today is already shaking hands with Friedrich Merz. Did the SPD now go ahead and say, okay, if fuel prices drop again now, we would need, and yes, you heard right, we would need a Ukraine solidarity tax, because otherwise we won't be able to finance Ukraine anymore. That's not because we don't have any more money for Ukraine, but because Iran is now going to cost a whole lot of money as well. Because Donald Trump doesn't plan to make reparations payments. Just keep that in mind. That's why we're supposed to do all of this now. And I still wonder who in the SPD actually has any common sense left and what actually happened to the SPD. Well, now, we don't even need to talk about that. In Berlin, there are a whole lot of shady jobs that definitely operate off the books, and also definitely a whole lot of Chinese restaurants, etc. PP. But even those they've left alone for a long time, now they want to make them pay up. Because maybe they realize that they might, yes, I really have to say it like this, maybe, just maybe, they're even committing tax evasion. Just imagine that.
An Asian store, another Asian store, the third Asian store, the fourth, fifth, cash only. And not just there, yeah, shops, the donor snack bar, late night stores, they all very often only accept cash payments. Now there's a suspicion. The income wouldn't be taxed. It basically never gets rung up at the register.
No, this isn't the next hate rant against any Asian stores or Asian markets. I really enjoy eating Asian food. That's not what this is supposed to lead to. But if the SPD is already noticing that they could have more tax revenue there, they have to. Guys, why don't you finally start thinking that other funds which you just waste senselessly, like for example, yes, to Iran, to the Mullah regime, maybe another billion, 2 billion, 5 billion, 9 billion. We have it. The budget deficit is already at 150 billion anyway. Oh, and the wave of insolvencies, oh yes, since this morning they've gotten even bigger again. Every day, tens of thousands of jobs are, to put it a bit dramatically, going down the drain. Yes, tens of thousands of people, let's say, become unemployed every month. And what is the SPD doing? Instead of just coming out and saying, okay, that's enough, let's leave these businesses where they are for now. We can deal with it when the time comes. No, they're just trying one thing now, together in alliance with Friedrich Merz, to completely destroy this economy. They don't want anything else anymore.
And out there in a Berlin commuter train, a 39-year-old man was brutally beaten by a group of men. The man was trying to protect two women from harassment. The incident already took place last Thursday on an S46 train near Wildau station. The group of 12 first harassed two young women. When the man tried to help, he was attacked.
It was definitely Michael, Ingo, David, and Christian. And Kevin was there. Kevin, for sure, he was the first one who was there. Instead of doing something about these people, no, today Stegner goes ahead and just listen to this, says it on NTV. I can't show you that. We should urgently continue to bring people from Afghanistan. That is our obligation. And the people from Iran who are fleeing back there, for example, that is our obligation. Bringing these people here as if we don't have much bigger problems, but maybe I'm just mistaken. However, photos of the perpetrators haven't been released yet. The police are just investigating, and the last violent crimes definitely looked like they were committed by Ingo and Michael. They only had black hair and slightly different pigmentation because they go to the tanning salon from morning till night, and now they're telling us gas prices have to stay so high that we're financing other countries with them. And guys, this is such a total rant video. For those who are tuning in for the first time, I don't usually make videos like this very often, but sometimes I just can't hold it in anymore. And then it just comes pouring right back out of me. Youth Center in Berlin. There are hardly any consequences. Shooting people in the legs. Yes, the perpetrators are eventually searched for. A police officer 15 times, 15 times. Trying until to get bullets into his torso. Yes, I really have to say it like that so these YouTube videos don't get restricted. Psych ward. This person was not criminally responsible. Tell that to his wife. And last but not least, yes, the speeders who really went full throttle are convicted of murder. What kind of country am I even living in? In one where its own civilian population, yes, can finance the whole world. And if you speak up, then you're a far-right extremist who has to be arrested immediately. And almost, yes, I almost said those three letters earlier. All four, you know what I mean. What is actually left of this country? What, please, have the SPD, CDU, FDP, and Greens actually done to this country? That people take to the streets and say, yeah, I wouldn't care either if gas costs 5 euros per liter. I ride a cargo bike anyway. And now a new statistic has come up. Cargo bikes are clogging up I was about to say power grid. No, that's green energy now. They're clogging up the road traffic network. And more accidents are happening. And that's right, the car drivers are to blame, but not the cyclists. And I just ask myself, who the hell shit in your heads up there in Berlin? I really have to say it like that. And for me to use such harsh words in a video, a lot has to happen first. But this really is the grand finale now.
Before the meeting, he once again threatened to withdraw from NATO. The USA announced that it would reconsider its membership after the conflict is over. Rutte is trying to mediate between Washington and the European partners.
Yes, and while a Dutchman is now flying to the States to maybe limit the damage a little bit somewhere, our fuel prices haven't gone down. But now we're probably sending the military to the Strait of Hormuz after all. Yes, what is Germany doing? Germany is escalating further. Did I already finish with Die Linke? Oh no, I totally forgot about them today. Die Linke now thinks that we should also pick a fight with Donald Trump out there. And I just hope for the statements you've made today. Yeah, like, does the Ramstein Air Base have to close now? Or something like that right now at this very moment. To continue escalating is honestly the dumbest thing you could possibly do out there. At some point, yeah, the good Lord handed out brains. At some point, my parents raised me, and, well, how should I put it nicely? They taught me that when things have finally calmed down, you don't pour oil on the fire anymore. Unless, of course, you're somehow messed up in the head. Then maybe you shouldn't be hanging around in the Bundestag. Just my personal opinion on that. I don't want to attack anyone here either. Now, to escalate things even further, how mentally disturbed do you have to be? Sorry, that was the evening news. I really just had to go off today, to expose these grievances in the country right now. We have a huge violence problem. We have a really absolutely huge problem that our politicians are embezzling money abroad, probably for kickbacks to line their own pockets. We have a Ukraine solidarity tax coming up. We're being told, don't make such a fuss about these gas prices. It's all for Ukraine and now also for Iran. We're supposed to keep quiet while people are dying on our streets. And we want to let even more in and at the same time let ourselves be taken advantage of. Dictators and terrorists grinning for the camera who were only recently put on the terror list.